Hello. I just realized that there's a feature on StreamYard for blue screen, so Watto can use his flesh as a blue screen and then do Watto on Watto. I'm very amused with myself. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the George Lucas Talk Show. Now I should turn this off. Or should I not? Maybe not for a little bit. This is a very normal live talk show in which one of the participants, the sidekick slash announcer, turns his body into a blue screen. What are the hashtags for today? I'm enjoying this too much to do the proper introduction. Hashtag Amerda Jason Granzukis. Hashtag Mantzoukas will run. Hashtag the Hey Nong Mandalorian. That's the one I feel like we've been working towards all year. Hashtag Amer Sonia Saraiya. This is I compliment Patrick. I say Hey Nong Mandalorian is the one, and then we're back to this Amer blank grub blank bullshit that never goes down smoothly. Hashtag Vanity Fairies are in strange magic. Hashtag Saraiya Vinfor. Let's start the show.
retired filmmaker George Lucas.
Hello, I'm George Lucas, creator of Star Wars. Hello, Watto. Very good to
Hello.
see you.
Did you see?
I was very much enjoying your digital effects play before.
That's what I was about to ask, if you like Watto doing a little bit of digital magic.
Watching a digital character play with his digital appearance is my jam.
Okay, because I'm working on a new one right now. Give me a second. I'm working on one. I think
however long it takes. I don't care if it takes 15 years for you to get it right.
It might take 15 years, and it might not work for the people watching right now, but maybe a couple generations later will see it correctly and they'll like it, and then their parents will walk in the room and go, "No, this is bad. I don't like it." And the kids will go, "Well, it's made for me. I'm a baby, and this is made for me, so let go."
Yeah. Yeah. People should never forget that Star Wars is made for babies. That's why we put it. There's no coincidence that the hottest character in Star Wars right now is Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
Grogu. It's because Star Wars is for babies, with babies, by babies.
It's a little hint there. Gaga goo goo is what babies say.
Yeah.
Gaga grogu.
If someone says to you, "I like Star Wars," you know what the appropriate response is?
I didn't know you were a baby.
Yeah. Or you could say "goo goo gaga."
Yes.
Gaga goo goo. That's what you say to
Gaga,
someone.
Gaga grogu.
What are we doing?
Oh, speaking of babies, here's the boot scooting baby who's driving us crazy. It's Patrick, our producer.
Hi guys, how are you?
How's your is your guest bumping finger just ready to start booting some guests before they're ready to go? I mean, you already booted guests from the crawl, Patrick. You already booted both of our guests from the crawl. Normally, the whole point of the crawl is to build up to this week's guests.
I'll tell you
what
why.
happened. I sent you. I believe I sent you the full text. Do you not copy and paste? You do a little fiddling around.
Can I tell you why, George? I think it was too long, and I think the website said, "Okay, that's it." I think that's what happened.
You're blaming a website for your mistake?
That's unbelievable. No. Can I say, I've heard of Hollywood producers doing a bump in the bathroom, but I've never heard of a streaming show producer bumping a guest into the green room.
Patrick, there's no way, because that crawl is shorter than other crawls we've done. It's also tremendously convenient that it was too long at exactly the point where the crawl text ends and this week's guests began to be listed. That strikes me as the kind of coincidence that I
don't know what happened. Like it was probably user error, but I didn't want to pay another $7.
When you say user error, you mean you, right?
I mean me. I mean Measer error.
Let's say user error. Say Measer error. Yes.
Can we bring in the guests, guys? We got good guests tonight.
You're the producer,
hold on. I'm trying to make this one digital effect work before we bring the guests in.
Yes, Patrick. Can we make one digital effect work before we start?
Is that too much to ask for? Just one goddamn digital effect to work? Or would you rather that no digital effects work?
The only digit that Patrick is interested in is his little thingy that he uses to bump guests. You should put a little boot on the bottom of your fingies, on the tip of your fingies. Do you have a little boot for your finger?
No.
You don't?
No.
You should.
All right.
I should. George, are you excited for the show tonight? While Watto's getting excited.
I'm very excited. That's why I've come out cannons blazing.
I know.
Full of energy.
And then we can also say, let's see. Here we go.
Let's go ahead and
what?
No, I was just going to remind you. Yeah, let's tell the guests how to be introduced, Watto.
Oh, sure. Wait, now I'm trying to see if it will let me.
Patrick, you tell the guests what they like to do while Watto's working on making the show great.
The way that we like to introduce our guests is have them tell us how they want to be introduced. So guests who are watching,
write your own introduction in the private chat.
And it can be real, it can be a joke, it can be whatever you want it to be.
It can
you write your own
introduction,
but I read it verbatim.
Yeah.
And now
Watto will read whatever you write in the private chat. He will read it out.
I'll read it, but sure, this is going to be a trick on the guests. Is they think they're going to come on a show with one George, one Rat, and one Watto. But instead, it's going to be one Rat, two George.
No Watto.
No Watto. It's going to be a trick, but the show will be very secret. Okay, ready?
All right, we have one of the two intros ready to go. We're waiting on.
Don't tell them the trick.
Yeah, don't tell anyone the trick.
I won't bring it up.
Okay. Ready, ladies and gentlemen. You know her as a huge Star Wars fan, currently 36 weeks pregnant, who learned everything she knows about labor and delivery from the final 10 minutes of Revenge of the Sith. Ooh. And you know him because his $100 Venmo is not to be bumped. I'm going to try that again. The wording of this got me. Ladies and gentlemen. And now, because his $100 Venmo to not be bumped was received by Patrick Kotner, Sonia Saraiya, and Jason Mantzoukas.
Hey!
Woo!
Very good.
Here we are. Oh, look at this, guys. You get to meet 2 Georges.
Wow.
2 Lucases.
Wow. Look at that. Is that a Lucas belly? Are you pregnant with a Lucas, Watto?
Yeah, I was pregnant with a little trick. It was another little George inside my belly.
Oh. Baby Lucas, that's a character that would take off.
Well, now it looks like it's George Lucas's lunch. That you're pregnant with.
Yeah. Oh, yum, yum.
I hate this.
Nothing I like better than buying a paper, folding it over, and sitting it just beyond where the food I'm eating is. I don't read the paper while I'm eating it. I fold it over, and I save that as my little treat for myself after I eat those noodles.
This is like a highlights magazine game where as Watto's image goes across, you have to try and figure out what's the image behind the image.
That's right. Or it almost get a little bit of an Al Jaffe mad fold-in image. It feels like you could fold Watto and you would get the image.
That's a great shirt you're wearing in this picture, George.
Oh, George looks like he's asleep at lunch.
Yeah.
I mean, a Diet Coke? Come on, George.
Oh, well, I'm famously diabetic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. Well, then at this point in time, you during COVID, that's like that is a pre-existing condition that leaves you very susceptible to this virus. Be careful.
Yeah, but bumps me up in that line. I don't have to wait behind 258 million people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did that little exercise that the New York Times had where you put in your information, then they show you where in the line you are. Have you guys done that?
Yep.
No.
Well, you got to do it.
Do you want to? Should we do it on the show, Jason? Do you want to do it?
I don't know. It's probably. Am I gonna have to enter like personal information?
Very
nice try. Nice try, Patrick. Nice try.
You know, one of the things we call him here is password Doxmore. He loves to dox people.
That's that's the move. That's the move. He's gonna be like, oh, should we try it right now? Next thing you know, I'm bumped.
Patrick is you. He'll steal your identity and bump you off the show.
I'm straight Joel Kim boostered out of this scene.
It's unbelievable that the news has spread so fast, that the two of you are on guard about the threat of the bumping.
I don't want to be Joel Kim boosted.
Yeah.
Well, when you guys started the show and we were in the digital green room just with Patrick, it's like talking to a different person.
So when
you guys are on with him, it's one thing, but like it's very difficult to be on with alone. He's very scary. It's a lot of threats.
Ball busting. Yeah. Terrifying.
Patrick, here's what I'll say.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. Patrick shoots first.
Wow.
Yeah. Unmistakably. I love that.
Sonia, you write about television and the television industry.
I do. Yeah.
This has sort of been the big story in the TV world the last week is the Joel Kim Bumpster, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's been huge. Shock throughout all the streamers. Everyone's freaking out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's what I want.
The really terrifying thing is this week's show, of course, is our investors meeting. Is that Patrick is planning to announce 10 high-profile guests that he plans on bumping in the next year.
Oh wow!
Oh, that's very exciting.
A full slate.
Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna give the whole thing, but I'm excited to tell everybody later.
Was this part? It was this show. Are you guys being brought into the new launch? Are you part of the new Lucasfilm launch?
No, they paid me to go away. I get I get a visit every now and then, like Filoni.
So you don't get to be part of the Bad Batch.
No, I mean, to a certain degree, one could argue that we were the original Bad Batch, the bad boys of StreamYard.
Yeah.
George,
the bad boys of StreamYard.
Do you ever feel bad about that? Do you wish that they would reach out to you more, ask you a little bit?
I would love to. I've got, but they've made it pretty clear that they want to do it their way. They want to do Star Wars their way, and that's fine.
You must feel vindicated right now to see that your boy Hayden Christensen returning to the fold. You bet on him early, you bet on him young, and now you are reaping those rewards, I'm sure.
You created him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, life as a house, more like life with the mouse.
Okay, interesting, because it's Disney product. It's a Mouse House.
Yeah, and that's a deep cut. That's a deep cut Hayden reference.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm excited about it. It was always intentional for me. I always thought when Anakin becomes Darth Vader, there should be a period. He'll start off sounding like James Earl Jones, but then there'll be a period where it's very important that it is clearly Hayden inside the suit. There should be a period, even though we've always seen Darth Vader with Dave Prowse or someone else inside, and we hear James Earl Jones. But this new show is going to very clearly deliver what I always intended, which there should be phases where it's very obvious that Darth Vader inside is Hayden Christensen. So I don't know how they're going to do it. Maybe every now and then he like flip that mask up and be like, "Look how you burned me, bro."
Right.
Yeah. So you think
to have a good?
Maybe
you think it's going to be a lot of like helmet on, helmet off action,
I think it's going to be a lot of, I think it's going to be a lot of like asides to people where it's like, don't bother me right now. And then we go back to the James Earl voice.
Well, this
one
actually,
I actually genuinely
have Mandalorian helmet off. Wow. 5 people really is constant over talking, but, we got to see Din Djarin's real face here in the real world for a while. Also, not to be sidetracked at all, but Watto, what are you eating over there, bud? I see you chowing down on something. You can see it looks like you got a sandwich. What do you got there, Watto?
Oh,
okay, pastrami sandwich.
Wow.
Yeah, baby.
Wow.
Is that what's your? Let me ask you a question, Watto. What's your Jewish deli of choice in New York City? Are you Zabar's? I know you're at the Dakota right now. So where are you going? What's your choice?
Look, these days, honestly, you got to go out of your way to support the deli. So you can Gold Belly. You can do some DoorDash to get ones that are outside of your delivery limits.
Okay.
I love Katz's. I love
You gotta love Katz, of course.
Right. I love Pastrami Queen. I fuck with it all, Jason.
Listen, I love that. I just see you over there chowing down on a mound of meat, making it really work with that Toydarian snout. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, baby.
Watto famously orders dinner about 20 minutes before the show starts, even though it's 8:30 on the East Coast.
And why? Why do I do that?
To show that you support local businesses?
No, because if I eat it on stream, it's a write-off.
Oh.
Oh God.
Now, Sonia, I'm a fan of your writing for Vanity Fair.
Thanks. Thank you.
And I'm such a fan that I'm gonna quote some of your words to you from a recent article that you wrote.
Okay.
All right. So these are not my words. These are not my words.
These are huge. This is George Lucas reading your words. This is huge.
Wow. This is very exciting.
I'm having a moment.
I've written words for other people, but with the exception of a few things like the OC and Just Shoot Me and Beverly Hills Cop 3, I have rarely delivered the words of someone else. It's not something I do often. All right, so I'm not gonna go deep into character. That's not how I work. But I'm gonna quote you here. All right. These are your words from this point on here. I am, admittedly, a longtime fan of the Star Wars franchise. Despite, here's the part where we're going to get into some trouble here. Despite its many cinematic stumbles over the last few decades. You wrote this in Vanity Fair, Sonia.
You did.
Why you burn me like that? Why you do me dirty like that?
It wasn't just you. I wanted to make sure.
I know. Name one stumble that had my name on it.
Well,
what would be a stumble? What would be a stumble? Because Jar Jar stumbled, but that was comedy. He'd be like, "Oops," and he'd trip.
It's true. Jar Jar is hilarious. I'm looking forward to the inevitable prequel series about him, which is I'm sure it's coming. I really watched Revenge of the Sith today.
Me too.
Just polishing, just reminding myself about the birth journey that Padme goes on over the course of that movie. I just wanted to remind myself, to take strength in her experience. Yeah, I guess I had, one of the questions I had was, why the lack of prenatal screening on Coruscant? How did she know she had twins?
A long time ago.
Tell us about the prenatal process on Coruscant, George.
Well, the thing is, back in those days, this was a long time ago. So they had a lot of things that we don't have, but they didn't have everything. And and the thing is, some things are doubled in ways that are just normal and you don't take notice. Like everybody on Tatooine, there's 2 sons. They don't make a big deal of it. There's not a single point where anyone talks about it. Yeah.
How many moons is what I'd like to know.
Probably a bunch.
Interesting. And if there are multiple moons, does that complicate women's menstrual cycles?
Yes.
Wow.
That's how, George? Tell us how. This is your chance to make new canon, George.
Well, here's the thing, because there were no complications that had to do with the twins. She died of sadness. It was sorrow. Right. So as long as you can stay in a good mood, you're going to be fine. That's the thing. It was a separate condition. I don't think it was related to the pregnancy at all. It was just a pure coincidence that she passed away at that precise moment of sadness.
Yeah. That's so interesting. I also noticed that her baby bump for carrying 2 very healthy twin babies is like really just like a size 4, just really like svelte underneath there. Yeah.
Yeah. She wears it well. To quote Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
And that just has to do with the way that, because I don't show a lot of pregnant women in the Star Wars franchise.
No.
I'm trying to think of even another example of it. But you know how, I don't know if you've ever packed for a trip and you buy one of those bags that you can put, like it's good for if you have like a comforter or a
like a stuff sack. You're talking about a stuff sack.
Yeah. Women in Star Wars are like a stuff sack. So it's part of the babies are conceived in what is basically, let's say, the space version of a stuff sack.
Oh, wow.
Because the scene, and here's the thing, the scene in which those twins are conceived, and I'm surprised I didn't get more flack for showing it on screen. But the scene where Anakin gets
can I ask you, George? George, can I ask you very quickly? I know it's not in the cut, but did you shoot it?
No, it is. It's in the theatrical. It's been in every cut of Attack of the Clones. When he impregnates her by he rolls around
in that
on top of her.
So that is the moment of conception.
Yeah.
My boy worked fast.
Double conception.
Yeah. Double conception. One roll conceives one baby. A second roll conceives a third. And then after those, the extra rolls are just locking in the pregnancy medically.
Just for fun.
This is like, I didn't expect things to get so like erotic so quick, so sexually charged. I thought that would be. I thought that would be later.
It's almost Life Day, so everyone. That's what's on everyone's mind.
Of course I know. I mean, I've got my ticket to Kashyyyk all ready to go. Don't worry.
You're going to travel. They're saying don't travel for this Life Day. Don't go to Kashyyyk.
No, I'm going to Kashyyyk. Are you kidding? No. It's Life Day. I can't listen. I've made enough sacrifices this year. If it's Life Day, I'm going to go to Kashyyyk.
I am telling you.
It's outdoor living. It's outdoor living. And they've proven the virus doesn't exist outdoors. As long as you're outside, the virus is completely negated. The same way that now that there is a vaccination, we can all assume from hearing it, we've already gotten it, and we can act accordingly.
See, I think Kashyyyk is sort of in that New Zealand position right now, where people are getting cocky because they have 0 cases, but they don't realize they have 0 cases because they have 0 humans. That's where they did things
Well,
correct.
Wookiees don't get the virus. You know,
Mhm.
everybody knows that. Wookiees don't get the virus.
Right, because they don't expel droplets.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wookiees, that's just a fact. They don't expel droplets. Show me one scene where you see a Wookiee expel a droplet.
I dare you. Show him one scene. Just one scene.
If you think you see a droplet, that's something else. That's like snow or something.
Well, that's part of your ethos in the Star Wars mythology is there are no droplets, right? That's again why conception begins with rolling around, because there are no droplets. It is simply the roll itself.
These are films made for babies. I'm not going to fill them up with droplets.
Right.
So George, this is a big question. I mean, I know that Star Wars took place long time ago. Long time ago.
Quite a while.
But I assume the planets still exist today.
But not just a long time ago, but also quite far away, if we're to believe what we're told. Yeah.
So everyone is doing fine in that galaxy, is what you're telling us.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I saw the Starkiller Base one. They blew up a bunch of planets in that, so not all the planets are there.
That's true. That's fair.
Yeah, we're down. Listen, there used to be more planets, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Prime's not there anymore, though.
R.I.P. Jakku? No, not Jakku. What gets blown up?
Hosnian Prime? Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
I guess that's it.
Is arguably too existent right now.
Yeah.
Jeddah is the one I'm thinking of. Jeddah gets blown up, right? I knew it started with a J.
So George, talk to me about the stuff sacks again for a second.
Right. So they roll around, and that's how you make a baby in Star Wars.
Right.
And the baby is conceived into a stuff sack.
Okay.
So that and the stuff sack, I didn't show this part, but whenever the baby is born, the stuff sack is just sort of like discarded. It's just like you can cook it, you can use it as an actual stuff sack for other like it actually is. You can eat it, or you can use it the way you would use an actual stuff sack. To store bulky fabrics that you don't care if they get a little wrinkled, because you can deal with it. You're just worried about conserving space. It's really about storage.
Right.
I think that I don't Tusken Raiders use those uterine stuff sacks a lot in the desert to carry stuff in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do on their banthas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they absolutely do. Well spotted, Jason. Those glasses aren't just for vision; those are a designation that you are a fan.
Listen, these are progressives. You know, they're readers on the bottom. They're distance up top. Listen, I'm here examining the texts and tomes.
Jason,
Patrick, please shut up. What did you say, George?
I actually have, this is legitimate, I actually have a fully formed pitch for a Star Wars show that I think you should star in.
Oh, okay, great.
You and Ewan McGregor. And it is a show in which every episode is simply your character asking him about what happened in the volcano fight with Anakin.
Sure. Yeah.
And because he cuts off his arms and legs and leaves him there. Bleeding to death and sliding into hot lava. And neither does he make sure that he's dead, which would have prevented a lot of every bad thing that happens after that. Or, and I think there's a good argument to be made for this, do a quick mercy kill, just a lightsaber through the brain.
Well, that's the question. Why not kill him, and honor his death and the relationship they'd had, bury him, do whatever, give him a Viking funeral
mice
in the lava.
Men, tell him he can pet the rabbits or whatever, and then give him the mercy kill.
I'll be honest, I think it would have been weird if he said you can pet the rabbits in the movie, but I understand what you're going for. I just think that would have been confusing, because I don't know, does Of Mice and Men exist in the Star Wars universe, the book?
Not yet, no, not yet, but he could have a vision of the Force, we can recommend that.
Because, Anakin could have been like, he's just heartlessly killing womp rats, and, he doesn't know his own strength.
we see those Jedi journals that are in the book tree or whatever in The Last Jedi, and Yoda says page turners they were not or whatever. Those could have been all Steinbeck. Just all of Steinbeck's work. And John Steinbeck could have been he could have been a thief who discovered the Jedi journals and then published them as his own books.
Mm-hmm. I heard 50 Shades of Grey was in those books.
Yes. But anyway, the series would be just you week after week asking Obi-Wan, just explain it again.
Questions. I love it. Break it down. Giving him I don't understand. What was your thinking? Because what you would need to say to him is like, you wouldn't be where you are right now had you just finished the job, bro. Like, you wouldn't have to be doing this. You wouldn't have to be stuck on Tatooine, like barely eking out an existence, just watching Luke grow up if you had just finished the job.
Yeah. When Obi-Wan Kenobi sees that the planet Alderaan has blown up, that is a direct result of him not mercy killing his friend.
Yeah. Oh, this dude's got blood on his hands, man. A lot of blood on. But you know who is ultimately to blame as far as I'm concerned? Yoda.
Ooh, I want to hear it. Yoda?
Yoda saw in a vision the Order 66 happening. And you know what my guy did? 0. He did a 0. He was like, I'm not engaging. Yoda fucks up every step of the way. The only Yoda I'm interested in now, Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
And I will not call him Grogu.
Oh, why not?
You don't have to.
I will not call him Grogu. I love that Baby Yoda. I have that Baby Yoda as well. It's incredible.
This is the original Baby Yoda.
This is the original. This one's the original.
This one's the original Baby Yoda.
This one is the original.
Oh, with the yarmulke.
Well, here's the show, Jason. The show is called Star Wars Jedi Auditor, and you just audit Jedis. That's all you do. So
great.
I'd love to get your guy come down to do a debrief. You're like internal affairs for Jedis, and you go to Dagobah. You can spend a full season just ripping Yoda a new one every week, just going through it. I want to go through it again. What you were thinking.
I've got questions. Here's the thing. I've got questions. I've got questions for Yoda. I've got questions for Mace Windu. I've got questions for Obi-Wan. I've got questions for Qui-Gon Jinn. I've got questions for every I've got a lot of questions for these Jedi. You know what I'm talking about?
You are basically singing the lyrics to the theme song for your show.
Yeah.
Those are the
I've
lyrics.
got questions for Yoda. I've got questions for Obi-Wan. I've got questions for Ahsoka Tano, even though she left the Jedi Order. And it's just that. It's just, look at that. That's a grown-up Yoda.
I have a grown-up Yoda. You can ask him your questions now if you want.
Here we go. Let's get them all.
There we go. There we go. Oh, yes. Oh.
This is fun. That's a baby, though.
Jason, can I pitch you another show while we're pitching shows? And
please,
of course,
let's pitch these shows. And also, Sonia, I want to hear from Sonia if she thinks these are shows that would make her year-end list.
Yes, great question.
Well, you know, the auditing the Jedi sounds great to me. No one holds them accountable. They've got weird rules. The whole balance to the Force thing. I have a lot of questions about how Anakin bringing balance to the Force actually got resolved. You know, George, another one of your great pregnancy stories is Shmi's pregnancy. Where
Sonia. Yes.
No droplets in that interaction either. No. She just gets knocked up by the Force. And has this baby presumably in a stuff sack. And there's just so much there I want to understand, you know, just about like who, you know, what's the Force up to? Who's responsible for deciding what balance to the Force even is? And you know, why is 50 Shades of Grey one of the Jedi texts? Like, I just think there's a lot of questions that I just want answered, you know? And I think Jason has the investigative chops for it. Yeah.
Oh, Are you?
I want to know that too.
You...
I want to know why Immaculate Conception is part of the Star Wars canon. I don't like it. I don't want it. I want. Here's what I just want it on record. Hashtag Schmeefucks. Okay. I want it out there. Schmeefucks. I don't want her to be shamed for it. I don't want her to be. I don't want her sexual activities to be erased. Schmeefucks. Otherwise,
absolutely,
Anakin is some sort of fucking immaculately conceived midichlorian baby, and I'm a hard pass on that, George. I just need you to know I'm a hard pass on that.
Well, I can tell you for a fact that conception was not immaculate, far from immaculate.
Well, here's the thing, and this was part of the reason, and they haven't gone with, I was very excited when Disney, Disney was the perfect company to buy Star Wars. But some of the things that I hoped they would take from me, my ideas, they did not ultimately take me up on. And maybe they will. Who knows? There's a lot of things can happen. But you're right. There is no Immaculate Conception. That's a red herring. It's a storytelling trope. I planted it in there. I hope that people would be mad about it. But it was something that at the time, we were releasing these films through 20th Century Fox before it was owned by Disney. I think I always had a kernel in the back of my mind that I thought, if we're ever able to merge the IP so we can bring these things under the roof of Disney, I can reveal who Shmi Skywalker's secret lover is. Does anyone have a guess as to who it could possibly be?
But you're saying it's only if the IP is merged under Disney?
I couldn't tell this part of the story. I didn't have the rights, even though I had it here. I had it here in terms of what was true. And I went into a meeting with Bob Iger and Kathleen. I said, here's the secret. Shmi Skywalker, she told everybody that it was Immaculate Conception.
Wow.
Because the truth was a little bit embarrassing. That it was the result of a one-night stand with a character who the only thing they had in common was a slightly similar name.
Wait, is this Greedo shot first?
No, this is not retcon. This was always true.
Okay.
If you're familiar with Peter Pan and his villain, Captain Hook.
Oh,
Captain Hook's
of course.
left-hand man, the sidekick Smee.
Of course.
Smee and Shmi.
Oh boy.
Smee and Shmi.
Nope.
They meet at a low point in her life.
He's got that clock inside of him. I mean,
the alligator does. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Crocodile.
Yeah.
Crocodile.
Yeah.
But he's never far behind. That you always hear that TikTok coming after Captain Hook.
Right.
Yeah, TikTok, Mr. Hook.
That's right. But Smee and Shmi, they
look at him. There he is.
Look at him there. My buddy Steve directed that. And that's no coincidence. We were gonna tie Hook. We were gonna tie Hook back in. We had the plans back when my buddy Steve. You know what? I've never opened these. These were a gift from Steve. I'm gonna go ahead and
you shouldn't. They're worth so much more unopened.
Oh yeah. You know what? I'm a billionaire. Who cares? I'm gonna open these.
But George, you should tell Jason and Sonia about your connection to that movie.
Oh, do you know that I'm in that movie?
I had
in Hook.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a scene where me and Carrie Fisher are making out on a bridge.
This is real.
Is this during the period where you guys were dating? I'm assuming.
No, it's after the fact, but it was a little nostalgia play.
Look at this one. This pan's no pan. I think that hasn't helped very well.
That's I don't like. That's a children's trading card.
Yep.
I feel like at least one child was bullied as a result of this trading card.
So how is Neverland like a planet in the galaxy?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a planet. It's a planet in the galaxy.
It's in I bet it's in wild space though.
Look at this. Granny Wendy.
Look at her.
Little Downton Abbey.
Wow. Is that Dame Maggie Smith? I mean, like she looks like she hasn't aged at all.
No.
All right.
Captain
and now a suicide joke on a children's trading card.
Pretty flip attitude.
2 copies of the same
and
suicide joke in the same packet card.
Off?
Yeah.
It's a signing off. Like that really is. That's not just a suicide joke. That's like doubling down on a suicide joke.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
at each other's throats. Look at them. They're going to kill each other.
Wow.
George, you got to talk to Steve about these.
Why are there so many cards in this pack? Okay.
Well, you know what? I would tell him, like, kill the lawyer. There's a lot of murder in this. I didn't get a Smee one. That's lawyer. No Smee.
No
Smee for me. But, you know, I did briefly have success telling my buddy Steve to take away all of the FBI's guns and replace them with walkie-talkies that they would wave around. But then he had them back in.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Are we going to see if there's a Smee in the next pack, or is that you had 2 packs, right?
No, I think I just had the 1 pack here.
Okay, then let me go ahead and see if there's a Smee in this pack.
Oh, little Joe Dante.
Watto, you must have known Smee during the period when she fucked.
Oh yeah,
you must have. I think Watto definitely met Smee.
Yeah.
How much of this show discusses the fact that Watto was a slaver?
Well, starting now, maybe the rest of it.
Yeah, probably 30%. Seductive Marla, wow,
wow.
Oh, that's pretty
Jason,
exciting.
I'm glad you mentioned it. Look, I never tried to hide my past. And of course, I not only don't hide it, I put it forward on my promotional Taco Bell cup.
Oh, wow.
It says junk dealer, but junk dealer is not, it's not exactly right. You were a
But that's
slave.
why it's in quotes.
So the people are junk? Wow.
Yeah. Look, Watto loves haggling and betting on pod races more than anything. Betting on a pod race is how we won these 2 slaves.
Right.
Anakin and Teen Skywalker, who like to fuck.
But so Shmi got pregnant, but when she was owned by Gardola the Hutt, though. That's interesting. That's interesting.
Smee was still hanging around. That's the vibe I'm getting.
That's what I'm. Yeah.
So I can't make Star Wars shows anymore, but let's go ahead and announce these and maybe see if we can get some buzz. So we have Star Wars Jedi Auditor.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think a multi-camera sitcom with Watto called My Two Slaves, all about Watto and Schmidty and young little baby Anakin.
I'd like to pitch a sitcom for Jason too. It's not
great. I'd love to get the original actor who played young Anakin to reprise his role.
Now, I feel like
you can put him in a little baby suit.
Sonia, you can agree with this, but Jason is a through line across many of the best reviewed comedy series of the last 10 years. It feels like if a comedy series is a critic's favorite, it got a little Mantzoukas in there somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Disney Plus has yet to find their breakout comedy hit.
That's actually a really good point. This could be it. I think
Star Wars
is the family-friendly sitcom we're going for. Yeah,
but that's Star Wars. Mandalorian's already a hit. Like I feel like I'll take that show and I'll run with it. I'm ready to really take the ball and run with it on that show. Like I feel like we need Jason on like a flagship Disney Plus sitcom. You know, we want like a classic kind of Odd Couple sitcom.
Yeah.
So you bring in like the comedy, like nerd TV's credibility. And then we take someone who's already in Disney stable, Josh Gad. We put the 2 of you together in an apartment. Gadzooks.
I think you're right. I don't like where this is going.
Gadzooks.
I'm not interested in Gadzooks. Shame on you, Watto.
Oh wow!
That's
how you can. This is how you can tell he's interested. He's already playing hardball. His first move. You are a smart professional. You know that the second you heard that idea, you knew this was greenlit. This is going to straight to series, and you're like, I want to get my quote as high as possible. So you said, I am not interested.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Always first move. Say no. Always the power of no.
Yeah. Can we see what's happening here? This is a card of George the Gremlin choking a TV host to death. And the caption is, Mark signing off. What's with these
He's not signing off. Signing off is what
signing off from life.
Onto his own head.
Signing off from life.
Did Patrick Kottner write the captions on these cards for how glibly they treat death?
Let's start a contest where we want people to find out how often did trading cards from, wide general release films of the late 80s and early 90s used signing off as a sign for horrifying death.
Look, I got the Ted Cruz card.
Oh. That hairline's giving me real Stephen Miller vibes, though.
Oh, yeah, boy. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Wow.
So Watto, what if Jason played like a younger version of yourself in My Two Slaves?
Young Watto. Jason plays young Watto.
Right? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a young guy, but I mean, I would take the.
You would be motion capture. You'd be digital because you've already done that. You did that with Derek on The Good Place. His last appearance was as almost entirely CGI, right?
And the bee in you have experience with winged creatures. You're the bee in Dickinson, right?
In Dickinson, yes, of course, yes. Yeah. So I mean, listen, if I could bring new life to Watto and redeem him as a character, perhaps from where he is now, just like a pastrami chomping, weirdo who is like trading on his former life as a slave trader / junk dealer. I think I could bring some humanity to that, and maybe find a way to bring him back into the Toydarian fold and make him like from an anti-hero to a hero. Right, so Watto's heroic journey.
You're already in 3 of the 10 shows we'll be announcing. You're in Star Wars Jedi Auditor, Star Wars Gadzooks, and Star Wars My Two Slaves.
I mean, like, I'm very interested in the Jedi Auditor. I'm interested in that just in a kind of, that to me is really, you can intersect with a lot of different people.
Jason, Jason, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, please.
What's your SME like? Do you have a SME?
Do you have a SME?
Because the fourth show will be Star Wars SME.
SME.
Right. The love story.
It's the tragic.
That, to me, I feel like I shouldn't be in that show. I mean, unless I'm playing Watto in that show.
There would be a role for the young Watto, but that's kind of like a miniseries.
That's just like the Mr. Roper character. The show is about them. I'm just like.
That's why I asked, how's your SME? How's your SME? Do you have a SME? Not everybody has a SME. Some people have a Shatner. Some people have a SME. Do you have a SME? Do you have a take on SME? If you don't have a take on SME, is there anybody that you think would Sheer be a good SME?
I mean, Sheer would be a great SME. Yeah.
You vouch for Paul Sheer? He'd be a great SME?
I think, I mean, like, he's somebody that I feel like could really bring something to that,
Yeah. All right.
And I mean, you could also, if you're going to do that, you could also maybe go out to June for Schmidty.
Oh.
So you're trading on their pre-existing chemistry.
So they would be willing to actually film rolling around.
Yeah. Unsimulated. Right. A couple of real roles.
Right. Because that's a lot to ask. You're going to have to roll around in a field and laugh while it's happening.
I mean, George, can you give us any more context for this? Like, so Shmi's on a pirate ship. Like, how does he get to Tatooine? Or how does Shmi find him?
Well, Captain Hook is up to his old tricks.
Right, of course.
He's got a big plan for how he's gonna trick Peter Pan. Mm-hmm. He's gonna lure him to Tatooine. Mm-hmm. And he's teaming up with some Tusken Raiders, and he's planned a whole trap. He's planned a whole trap where he has first he's going to go to Mos Eisley, and he's going to hire some people to pretend to be Wendy and Michael and just all the whole Darling family.
Is there like an ocean on Tatooine?
No, it's notoriously dry.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, lots of sand. But the ship can fly. His pirate ship can fly through space.
Oh, of course.
What I was thinking.
Got it. Okay, right. Yeah.
Because it does
like a pleasure yacht, like the pleasure yacht in Solo, a Star Wars story, is not a water-based yacht.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a certain amount of, because Star Wars was never hard sci-fi. There's a certain amount of magic involved. And so that's always a good thing that you can use to explain away whenever people have questions about logic or reason or rationality or anything like that. You always say, well, it's magic. And so Captain Hook, he goes to Tatooine to set this trap for Peter Pan. But that's not our story. That's sort of off to the side. We sort of trick the audience into thinking, oh, it's another classic Captain Hook, Peter Pan adventure. But then we sort of like pull away because he doesn't need Smee for this. So Smee has basically the equivalent of like a weekend pass.
Right. Shore leave.
Yeah. And he meets Smee. And there's a spark because she's at a low point and he's feeling good. He's feeling confident.
Is the meet cute because of their names?
Yes, because they are in a cantina and they each give their name for a beverage. And when they call out the beverage, Star Wars style, you picture the close up of they both reach for the beverage at the same time because it says Shmi, and they each think it's for them. And then they have a laugh over this.
It's beautiful.
And they bond. And before
you
know it, they're rolling around in the sand.
Wow.
I think Emkin Chloe put it best in the chat. It's a Schmidty cute.
Yeah. And this is romantic. It's also comedic, but it's also setting the stage for tragedy because ultimately she will be embarrassed and not want to admit to this. And Smee is just going to go as soon as his shore leave's over. He's back with Captain Hook, and they're being chased by that dang crocodile. Peter Pan's getting the best.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's from Barty. Yeah.
So Anakin's character is so it's so influenced by, half of his DNA came from this this pirate. Yeah.
Humbling pirate.
Yeah.
Well, think about all the things that Darth Vader ultimately does. A lot of them are bumbling. In A New Hope, the whole plot turns on his bumble, which is he says he has the whole crew of rebels and they could turn on the tractor beam and pull them back and just blow up their ship. And instead he says, no, I have an idea. Let them go. Don't use our tractor beam, even though we have it. Let them go back to their rebel base. We will follow them, and then we'll find the rebel base. And they don't make it there in time. So the rebels, they gather up and they come blow up the Death Star, and everyone except Darth Vader dies. That is classic Smee. If Hook saw what Smee's son did, he would be so furious. You idiot!
Would be mad.
That's exactly the kind of behavior that Smee would have gotten
So
into.
is there then also a show for Captain Hook and the Emperor?
You are prescient because that is the next show title I was about to unveil. Star Wars, Captain Hook and the Emperor. It would be kind of like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's one of those
totally
like throw two characters together and like that's a show.
It's just
Star Wars, Captain Hook and the Emperor.
And they get to be, it's like a cop show. They get to both be kind of like hard asses and run the universe. Yeah.
It's about two bosses who have to solve mysteries.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And they don't like each other.
And their underlings
doesn't like the Emperor's style.
Their underlings are constantly messing it up for them. Like
they are.
You've got Vader fucking up. You've got
at each other's throats.
Up.
They're at each other's throats constantly.
I do want to say,
always threatening to sign off.
Shockingly, George, I think this is the most we've ever talked about Star Wars on the George Lucas Talk.
That's all I'm here to talk about.
It's great.
That's all I'm here to talk about.
We
have to announce 10 shows. I'm not going to be made a fool of. I can announce 10 Star Wars shows just as easily as anybody.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what was that? Look at that.
That this guy sent to us. I don't know if he made it or what, but
It's
pretty good.
Jason Mantzoukas, Jedi Auditor.
Oh,
that's
so me being like, Yoda, you fucking blew it.
This is a thing here. Our viewers work very fast when it comes to fan art. Yeah. So we always like to throw out the offer to our guests. I currently have 9:03 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I would say both of you request any piece of fan art you have ever wanted to see out in the world. It can be featuring you. It can be something that doesn't feature you. And I guarantee we will have it by 9:15.
Oh, God. That's awful. I mean, listen, I enjoyed what I just saw, but I mean, if we're going to be honest, I want to see me as Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Nice.
Oh, wow. I love that. Nice. I love that.
I'm just putting it into the world. I just want me, but as Thrawn.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, am I saying that I can represent the Chiss ascendancy? I mean, perhaps I am. Perhaps I am. Am I saying that I want to navigate the galaxy via navigators who use third sight? I am.
I love this. I love everything about this. That's so good.
Grand Admiral Thrawn, G-A-T, Gatzooks.
Gatzooks.
I want to see Jason as young Watto.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll take that too.
Sonia, you're double dipping here. You're starting to set up some TV shows as a producer.
I would like Sonia. I would like to see Sonia in like Bo-Katan Mandalorian armor.
Oh,
yeah.
Great.
We've already got the title.
Yeah, we need all this. And I do feel like we're getting. I hope this is helpful, Sonia, because I feel like we're getting you a head start on your top 20 shows article for a year or two from now.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised if all 10 of the shows that we are going to make happen end up on your top 20.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely.
But Sonia, would you feel weird about writing about these shows?
Would I feel weird about it? I'd probably have to disclose that I was in a meeting. I was in the investors meeting. But I think Vanity Fair's readers would understand. Access is everything.
And you also, in print, you have already admitted that you were a longtime fan of the Star Wars franchise, despite its many cinematic stumbles over the past few decades.
It's true. I've come completely clean. There's
sunshine is a great disinfectant, and you are completely above board, without reproach.
There's also just another factor at play, which is, what does it say on the label right now? You're a TV critic. It means you're on the payroll for Disney.
I'm Hook. I don't want to be Hook.
Mantzoukas is what the.
I don't want to be inside the Hook universe. Jesus.
No, Watto, you're exactly right.
You're a paid
Disney in order to every critic does. We're all paid off by the studios to have our tepid opinions about things. Yeah. So it's. I'm so happy.
I like that it's trending towards the animated Schmidty.
Yeah,
how I pictured it. That's how I pictured it.
This has always been a longstanding mystery of mine, the Immaculate Conception. So I'm just really, I'm feeling like I really got some investigative journalism done today, just getting to the heart of this.
I truly, you should have seen me when I walked out of that first meeting where I pitched this to Bob Iger and Kathleen Kennedy. I thought we were all on the same page. I thought this is a lot of The Force Awakens is going to deal with unpacking this. We're going to at least at the bare minimum. When I saw it at the premiere, I sat through the whole end credits and I was like, I am positive that the post credits stinger was going to show like Smee and like a paternity test or something.
You said 9:03 was when we called it? for fan art?
903. Yes, 903 was when we
did 907.
I mean, that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you go.
Oh, and you've got the Yggdrasil. What are those things called? Ypsilanti, Yggdrasil, whatever those things are.
Yeah, the little lizards behind them.
The force bubble creatures.
And look
I'm
at that.
into this. Oh yeah.
That's beautiful.
Man. Wow, that's good. We still want them to come in. So if you're working on it,
please.
Oh geez, we got a few that have come in. Hang on. We got this one from
Patrick.
Oh,
even better. See? That's it.
Yeah, look at that.
That's it. Let's see what else we got. We have
4 minutes.
I mean, it's just me. Oh, wow. Wow. That's tough. That is tough stuff.
Oh, that's so funny.
Well, and George, this leads me to another question because I mean, I feel so grateful, Jason, that you've just come out with like, Shmi absolutely fucked, and we just need to be honest about that.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I think that the new trilogy opened up this other thing, which is that Palpatine absolutely fucked. And I just want to understand a little bit more, you know, how could we have missed that for so long? And
this was part of George's plan. I mean, his rejected pitch for the next trilogy. Episode 7 was supposed to be called Star Wars Episode 7, Our Bodies, Ourselves. And it was like, let's really get into the fucking.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What an opportunity.
So there was a lot of scenes of people with mirrors looking at their cervixes.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, that was the open. That was the very opening. Yes.
Culminating in a long montage in which we saw various couplings rolling, and I'd always imagined this would be the place, because we never did this really, but this would be where we would pull in some anachronistic pop culture, and we would bring in Tina Turner with Proud Mary, so you get that rolling. Rolling on a river, and because they're Jedis, they could roll on a river.
You could roll on the lava river.
Yeah.
Roll on the lava river from Return of the Sith.
Yeah.
You have to understand, George's ex-wife called him sexually unimaginative, and he has spent nearly 30 decades trying to prove her wrong. And so that was the real goal of doing a new Star Wars trilogy, was like, wait until you see my sexual imagination.
Wow.
Right. Let me just so we're sourcing this.
Please.
There's some young Watto Chronicles.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna need copies of all these, Patrick.
Yes, I will send them to you. But
unless you bump me from the show, I want copies of all this art.
Always
see how the rest of the show goes.
George is currently looking at Brian J. Jones's biography of George, trying to find the exact quote.
Oh, I see. Wow.
He's moved his glasses down the bridge of his nose while he searches.
It is hard for me to imagine Palpatine rolling, you know? I wish I could see it, is all I'm saying.
I will say it's like impossible for me to imagine the Emperor fucking, but I can see like younger Palpatine, you know, having a family during his time in the Senate, et cetera, et cetera. You know, like it would not have been surprising in the prequels to see, Palpatine's family attending some event with him or some bullshit, right? Yeah. But once he's the Emperor, but then we exist in a world where if the Emperor is that powerful, he could perhaps have manipulated someone's midichlorians to make them pregnant, so that he might not have even had to fuck. I'm not sure, George. This is for you, okay, bro?
Right.
Yeah.
He liked to roll around.
I mean, maybe Palpatine Origins could be one of the shows we talk about here.
Maybe it's maybe it's Sheev Between the Sheets.
Yeah.
That guy. Oh, that guy can get it.
This guy can get it. You see this guy right here. You're like, he can get it.
This is page 332 of Brian J. Jones's biography of me, George Lucas. And it's talking about how after I was split from my first wife, I was cuckolded. I started dating Linda Ronstadt, and people were surprised because Linda Ronstadt, is very, had a lot of very, dated a lot of very exciting people. And this is his words. On the face of it, it was an odd pairing. Lucas was quiet and introspective, and another gripe of Marsha's, not terribly adventurous in bed.
What do you think that means?
It's got to be hard to read.
What do you think that means?
George
Not
knows
adventurous.
He was no Indiana Jones in the bedroom.
Right. I'm not running after, not looking for treasures and running away from boulders or what kind of.
Listen, as far as I'm
throw a man out of a
concerned,
zeppelin, what does that even mean sexually?
as far as I'm concerned, every sexual interaction is a treasure hunt and should be treated as such. Oh, see, that's a good one. That's pretty good.
That's good.
Ooh.
Taking off the beard. Would you shave for the Thrawn show?
To play Thrawn?
shave?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to shave.
All right.
Yeah.
But we need the beard for Jedi Auditor.
Yeah, Jedi Auditor for sure is bearded, and it's a lot more like Jedi Auditor I see as like Columbo in the Jedi Order.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like
But he has lots more things. Not one more thing. He has
one more thing.
Many more things.
Yeah, many more things.
Yeah, he turns around at the end and he's like, I have about 100 more things.
Yeah.
I have 100 more questions, Yoda. When you said you needed to meditate on that, why? Why not just make an active decision and employ reason and choice rather than meditating and waiting to see how things go, Yoda?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love the stank you put on that line reading.
The beard when you ask questions. I think.
Yeah.
Like
one more thing, Yoda.
Exactly.
You've seen in the vision. How does Yoda not know Palpatine is a Sith Lord? How? Come on, George. Come on.
Confused was I. Distracted. Shame I do feel.
Oh boy.
I think we can see that CGI Yoda is just not as powerful as puppet Yoda. And
did you see him fight?
But it's just not the same. It's just not the same. I think when he goes to Dagobah and becomes a puppet, he has more wisdom and understands. What is that?
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
Is that film?
Yeah. This is the original negative of Puppet Yoda and Phantom Menace. I'm just going to throw it in the garbage. It's gone.
Who's Watto got?
You got Watto?
He's got some film too.
Wow, everybody got film.
How do I get the light to work? It's film of Watto.
Yeah.
They're the original cast.
Those are the original negatives.
Yeah, negatives.
Oh, so great. This is so cool.
It's really cool.
Huh.
So George, do you watch The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I've been to the set. I like John, and obviously I trust Dave a lot.
Yeah.
Well, Dave's your guy. I mean, Filoni is my
boy.
He's your spy on the inside.
Oh yeah.
Patrick, we don't need to see your film, Patrick. We don't need it. Get out of here with that.
Yeah.
Get out of here with that.
I've got it in a big KFC bucket. You don't want any.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll watch Mandalorian. I like Mandalorian. It's fun. The one thing I said to them was make sure it's for kids. Put a baby in there.
Yeah.
Put a baby Yoda in
there. I'll say this. I will go on record. In episode 3, when Bo-Katan said, "There you will find Ahsoka Tano," I gasped and burst into tears.
Wow.
That was very emotional.
I do not remember. I do not remember that happening in Revenge of the Sith.
No, that did not happen in Revenge of the Sith.
You just said it happened in
I'm
Revenge
sorry.
of the Sith.
You said
I'm sorry. Episode 3 of Mandalorian, this season 2, episode 3 of The Mandalorian on Disney+.
Now you're speaking my language.
Right.
Featured the character, Katie Sackhoff's character, Bo-Katan from
Starbuck.
It doesn't matter, but you know what I'm talking about. But to introduce Ahsoka Tano and Thrawn and bring back Boba Fett, these are home run moves. This show is just on another level this season.
Totally.
The only misstep, Grogu. The name Grogu. That's my only note. One more pitch on that for another hour.
That's going to be cleared up later on. His name is not Grogu.
Too many hard G's is a comedy name. It sounds like it's a character from Family Guy.
Trust me, it is not his name. They are leading you down the garden path. We're going to find out later that's not his name. He is fucking with everybody.
What's his name?
I'm not gonna. That's a big deal reveal. I'm not gonna reveal that.
Okay.
Wait, right. Leak that to Vanity Fair.
I need that.
The last thing I need is for the next cover of Vanity Fair to be this leak. Grogu's not his name.
The next cover of Vanity Fair is going to be Grogu eating the eggs because that was the biggest of the year.
I mean, well, he's like literally trying to wipe out that family's legacy.
I know.
It is. It seems to be some sort of tasty genocide.
I mean,
I think we're getting to the bottom of this. Jason, is that why you don't like Grogu?
Because I'm allergic to eggs?
Because he fucking loves
the eggs.
No, I don't. No, I don't have a problem with Grogu, the character, Baby Yoda, I call him. I just don't like the name Grogu. That's it. To be clear.
I mean, I just feel like you're not being accepting to maybe like that person's ethnicity, like Grogu's ethnicity or traditions or
interesting. Yep.
Like, just saying. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good too.
Wow.
We've got a lot coming in.
I don't know whether they'll go with my pitch on this, but I'm going to tell you. I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do, but I will tell you what Grogu is.
Okay.
How's the banana?
Because Baby Yoda wants it. His name is Baby Yoda. His name is Baby Yoda. Let's face it. That's his name.
Right.
Grogu is what he wants. Because Grogu is a special gooey drink that makes him get real big for a few minutes.
That makes him grow? It's literally Grogu.
Drink. It's a little sticky magical drink.
I don't like this.
And he wants it. When he hears people saying Grogu, he's like, yep. Yes, please. I'll drink a cup of Grogu because it's gonna. It only works on little Baby Yodas. It doesn't work on any other species. But when they drink it, they get real big for like roughly the amount of time, like in a video game where someone gets like a superpower and it kind of goes and it sort of speeds up. Baby Yoda is going to get real big, just like Animal at the end of Muppet Movie.
The best part.
I mean, I like that they're flirting with like him being on the dark side too. Like he has much anger and fear in him.
Yeah.
And he's gonna get.
He's like been through it.
He's gonna get that Grogu, and he's gonna be a big dark side guy. I don't know.
He's gonna eat a whole house full of people.
Oh my God! He's gonna end that line. He's not even gonna feel bad about it.
Well, at only 50 years old. I feel like he could go either way. I think this is the nature nurture question, guys. You know, this is he inherently bad or good? You know what I mean? And I think a force sensitive 50-year-old, well, I guess we don't know what this species is called, but Baby Yoda is still in a place where I feel like under good guidance, he can choose to be a force for good and represent the good in the universe.
He is a little good.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, George, if you could go back, would you put little Baby Yoda in the prequels?
I did. He's there.
Where? Where is he?
I'm not gonna tell you that. Do your homework.
Oh my God.
He's there the whole time.
He's there.
Yeah.
Look for Well, first of all, he doesn't look like he's 50.
Yeah, he looks like
he looks great for 50.
No. What I'm saying is, you've seen what he looks like when he's 50. He doesn't look 50 in the prequels.
He'd be like,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He'd be like 20. He's like 20.
He's like 20.
Yeah. So he's gonna look like what you picture like a 20-year-old Yoda looks like.
Right.
All right. Let's get some fan art of that.
He's gonna look like your average sort of like picture an undergrad, freshman year on the quad, playing hacky sack.
George, I think you should be careful. This is starting to get into creep territory. Oh wow!
What do you mean?
Speaking of creep territory,
yeah, this is when Watto George on his belly.
Well, I assume that Grogu was in the scene where Anakin slaughters all the younglings, and I just didn't spot him.
I've seen fan art of that. I've seen fan art of that, but that is not the scene where you're gonna spot Baby Yoda.
Oh,
that would have been great. That would have been great, but you'll find him. He's in there. You just gotta watch the prequels enough times.
That one's good.
Huh.
It's gonna be. It's like looking at a magic eye. You're gonna be on your 30th viewing of one of the prequels. I'm not gonna say which one because you gotta watch them as a whole. They're just one long movie. And you're gonna spot him, and when you see him, you're gonna realize I've been looking at him this whole time. Little 20-year-old Baby Yoda, having a blast. That's the only clue I'll say. He's having a blast.
Wow.
Oh wow.
All right.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Great to know.
You know, before he sees, I mean, that's the thing is before he sees some real shit, you know, like he's had a tough time, you know, we learned he's been trained by multiple masters, you know, bad stuff I'm sure has happened to each and every one of them.
Yeah.
You know, he survived as a baby, he survived Order 66. I mean, he's been through a lot. It is a traumatic life. A lot of, I think, season 3 of Mandalorian is going to be dealing with Grogu's PTSD.
A lot of it.
Got sulfur farts.
Well,
Yeah.
From eating all those eggs.
Jason Mantzoukas, Jedi therapist.
Ooh. Oh my God!
Oh,
absolutely.
Wow.
Well, absolutely.
An auditor is just one step removed from a therapist. It's like,
yes,
so true.
And he's going to realize there's too much, and he just needs to,
An auditor is kind of the therapist of the wallet. Would you not say?
Exactly.
So true, Watto. So true.
So true.
Where did
this is the kind of stuff you should be studying, Jason, to play young Watto.
It would be such an honor to play young Watto. It would be such an honor, you know.
The role is yours if you want it. I just feel like a lot of people, they focus on the brashness and not the wisdom of the Watto.
Why, Watto, did you leave Toydaria?
I mean, come on, that place is a fucking shithole.
This is Jason as young Watto.
I love this. This is incredible.
That's incredible. Yeah.
I love that my hair is coming out from beneath the mask.
Yeah. I do think you need to be bearded as young Watto. I'm glad
for sure.
Got that.
The beard is in there, it's just hidden.
Right.
Yeah.
It's under.
Yeah. Because that's Jason. That's Jason in the costume of Watto. That's what.
Yes.
Yeah.
To answer the
guys,
question,
these are amazing. Thank you to the fans. These are incredible. Please keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah, they won't stop. We need to see Sonia in the Bo-Katan armor.
Oh, please.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, Sonia or
if you
Sonia.
make her massively pregnant in the armor, that will be a big plus. Yeah.
They can.
We'll also take Sonia holding Asajj Ventress's lightsabers.
Yes.
So yeah, Watto, tell us about leaving Toydaria.
Yeah, I mean that place fucking sucks. It just first of all, there's no film production there. They have never come up with a good sort of tax incentive program. So if I want to work in the industry, it does not behoove me to stay on Toydaria.
I see.
Yeah. So can I ask you just a quick question? Did you wait until you got an agent to leave Toydaria, or did you leave Toydaria in order to get an agent?
Well, no, I sort of was a package deal. I mean, you have to remember, right? I'm 23 years old. I was rendered in 1997 during pre-production on Phantom Menace. So George kind of took the early kind of rough renders around town. So he was going to CAA, he was going to UTA, he was meeting with Vane, and he was saying, look at this, it's a wireframe, but I really think this thing is going to pop. So they used the money, the signing bonus, to finally push that render through. So I had representation for the word go.
Oh, wow. That's so lucky.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And, there were high expectations in terms of where we thought my career was going to go after Phantom.
I was going to say, because not for nothing, I just looked at your IMDb, and it doesn't seem like you've worked much more.
Well, I moved a little more behind the camera. I do a lot of bridge financing now. Completion funds.
Yeah.
I got
finishing
some credits
funds,
on, right. Bosch. You can see me in the end credits of
on
Bosch.
Bosch. Speaking of which, Titus Welliver was just in this season of
was that your
The Mandalorian.
Yeah. Who do you think hooked them up? Yeah.
Yeah,
Titus has been tugging on my trunk for years, trying to
So
get
when you self-tape, are you just in your house going on tape for stuff like this?
Yeah. I mean, once again, look, I'm making so much money off of this show. I don't need to be self-taping for anything else. I was smart. When we transitioned from the UCB show, because when we were doing this live on stage, I was taking a fucking bath on this thing. And then when Planet Scum acquired us, I really was clever with some of the ins and outs of the contract. And I'm making off pretty well on this show now. So I'm not.
Wow, that's pretty great.
I'm gonna I'm gonna self-tape for the Head of the Class reboot or some shit. I don't need that.
I mean, I don't know. I bet a lot of, that's so great for you. I bet there's a lot of people out there who are just like hosting podcasts, wishing they could get on the Head of the Class reboot,
Probably, yeah. But once again, you're talking about some fucking losers with your podcast. That's not my boat, baby.
Sure. Yeah. I get it.
Right.
I get it.
Right. There's someone, right. I feel like you're describing like the type of person who reboot of Head of the Class wouldn't be some abstract reference for them to pull out of their ass.
It would be something that perhaps had just recently engaged with in a frustrating way as to, is this what my life has become?
Absolutely, right. It would be something that someone didn't even have to think deeply about. They would just go like, what's the third most recent email I got? Yes.
Sure.
We should stipulate that this show has been referred to publicly as the worst podcast ever made. Shortly after we were reviewed and we were called the internet's coolest talk show, but then a person on Twitter said that this was the worst podcast ever made,
which is probably
agree,
as it's not a podcast.
Yeah,
not
we
available
agree.
on any podcast apps, video and audio, not a podcast.
No, we agree. We put so much direct effort into not being a podcast. We would be insulted if people thought this was a good podcast.
Mm-hmm. George, you are so good at weathering really intense criticism of your work.
Yeah, you have to be, because I get so much of it.
Yeah.
Now let's go around. What's the biggest piece of criticism that you've gotten that you've been able to weather off? We're gonna go around.
We're all gonna go around.
Yeah,
we're all gonna go around.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the question? Is what's the
biggest piece of criticism that you've gotten that you've been able to weather off like George has?
Right. So, like Sonia, what's the biggest piece of criticism you've gotten? What's the harshest piece of criticism on the criticism you've heard?
I would say that my mom's ongoing inability to care about what I do would be the general critique of my life.
Does she subscribe to Vanity Fair?
She does. She does now. Yeah. She gets really excited when a picture of me is in sometimes the contributors page, they put like a picture. Mm-hmm. He's like, you look good in that picture. I'm like, I'm so glad you think so.
That's
Did
nice.
You read?
She's trying her best. Sonia, she's trying.
She's trying her best. Yeah.
Would you say she wouldn't subscribe to Vanity Fair if you weren't writing for it, would she?
Oh, no, I think she might be interested in Vanity Fair. I think she doesn't have any interest in television criticism.
Right.
I'm so glad the chat is proud of me. And she's sort of mystifying that I would. I told her like I was busy, when I was putting together the top 10 list. I was like, I was busy. I had to put together the list, and she was like, I'm so glad that report you were working on went.
Right. Have you ever recommended a TV show to her, and then she's been like, "Thanks for recommending that show. I really like it."
No, I would say that has never happened.
Do you have similar tastes? Does she like shows that you like, or you watch different things?
She doesn't watch. She really doesn't like to watch. She likes to watch the news, so she doesn't like to watch a lot of. Yeah.
Were you ever tempted to put that into your top 20 just as a little
the news
cry for help? Just like Number one show, the news.
I mostly just try to divert her attention. Once I got married, she was like, "Great, you've accomplished something I understand," and that's just what's what we talk about now. Yeah.
Right. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
You're weathering it. It's a work in progress.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
That consumption method. I can't wait to see him to do that.
Yeah, you got to hook it up to the face hose.
Yeah.
Patrick, I have to ask: do you feel competitive at all with Grogu?
I don't. Why? Because
he's coming at your title, the number one snacker on the internet.
He snacks and he naps, but then he also does other things that are really useful.
Yeah, he snacks, naps, and does it all.
Yeah, I just snack and nap, and that's it. That's the end of the line for me.
You book a lot. That's not true.
I don't know about competitive. I mean, it's different. He's much more beloved than I am, and I'm fine with that. That's okay. Well,
why you're wearing a green shirt?
What?
Is he the reason you're dressing up in a green shirt for the show?
The shirt I got from Bring to Noise. This is a shirt that says "Talk about a little twist."
Yeah, but did you ask it green because you wanted to look more like Baby Yoda?
That's exactly why.
Patrick, you don't need to try to be Baby Yoda.
Oh, okay. Thank you for saying that, George. I really appreciate it.
Well, Patrick, what's the criticism you've weathered? What's the criticism you've weathered?
Why can't it's from people on the internet? Why can't you be more like Baby Yoda and stuff like that? And I just try to push it off.
All right, done and dusted. What's your criticism you've weathered?
Sorry, I just want to jump in. That is not the worst criticism Patrick has ever gotten. And if you think it is, I have some emails to forward you. That's all I'm going to say, though.
I would love it if you did. I'd love it.
Yeah. What's the worst criticism I've ever gotten?
Well, it must be hurtful when people refer to you accurately as a slave owner.
No, I was going to say, no, that's fine. I mean, that's like, do you get offended when people call you Sonia? Like I can't get upset at that. I get upset when people are like, owning slaves is bad. Like that's rough. That's hard to take.
Gotta be.
Like,
yeah.
What about when people come to your shop and they say, "Is this an antique shop?"
Oh, I get furious. I go, this is junk, and put some respect on that.
Oh boy.
Mantzoukas, what's the worst criticism you've weathered?
I'm trying to think. I mean, it's usually a lot of does this guy do anything else but scream? Or oh great, this guy's here to ruin another one of my favorite shows. Or I guess Jason Mantzoukas is just going to play Jason Mantzoukas on this show now too. Guess I don't have to watch it anymore. Those are the kind of things that I see.
But you're also famously
not
on social media, so you get to avoid a lot of that, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. You're just reading like criticisms, like comments that people write out to the world. You're not getting people tweeting at you like, "Hey, Jason, that thing you do where you yell all the time, not that funny. Here's my advice: stop doing it." Like that thing.
That's
strangers
to me,
giving you unsolicited advice with words like, "Hey, buddy."
Yeah. That's what the true joy in not being on social media is, that I don't have to hear what people think at all about any of my appearances. That's to me one of a true great joy. That they might be talking about it right now online somewhere about this very appearance, saying, "Is Jason going to let anybody else talk? Why does Jason know so much about Star Wars? When's he going to start talking about Gilmore Girls?" We can get into it. Don't worry about it.
Well, like over here, like Blogthoven said, I hear people criticize Jason for drinking tea.
For drinking pee? They criticize me for it? They should be congratulating me for it.
Tea, not pee. Tea.
Pee? I'll drink that pee. What's going on?
Yeah, he drinks pee. He's fine with it.
Yes, that's a reference to we did a How Did This Get Made show a couple of nights ago, And when I revealed that I drank tea, June Diane Raphael had a very visceral reaction and said she didn't like men who drank tea.
What?
Whoa.
Which led to a very long discussion about it. And I'm here to say this. I am a proud man who is a proud tea drinker. So I'm here steeping it, drinking it, glug, glug, glug. I'm taking down that tea, okay? I'm not ashamed to be out here in these streets drinking that tea, okay?
So what kind of tea? What kind of tea, Jason?
Sonia, I'm so glad you asked.
Wow.
Let's see what we got. See what we got. We've got organic green dragon tea.
Nice.
Kaboom. Okay.
Wow.
We've got, get ready for it, green ginger. Give me that gingy. Oh, because I'm an actor, I got that throat coat, baby.
I have a throat coat. Gotta, yeah.
It's wintertime. You got to get a coat for your throat. Okay, then I got that sleepy time, soothing caramel bedtime.
Wow.
Happy free. What else do we got? We got, don't worry about it. Loose. I got a loose bag of tea. Chamomile citrus.
A Lucy. He's got
I got a Lucy. Don't worry, I love Lucy, guys. That's about what I got. That's what I'm working with right now.
Wait, let's talk about these paintings behind you. I want to know everything about these paintings.
Yeah, we got to talk about these women. Yeah.
Sure. These are sure. What do you want to know?
All right. So who are they? And why do you like them?
I mean, these are some of the people I spend my life with. I mean, I don't know who they are. They're just the people that live in my house with me.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Are they haunted?
Are they Sonia? Such a good question. I mean, here's what I'll answer that question. Give me just one moment. I'll answer that question. Sure. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, hold please. I'm just getting something. Hold on. Okay. I'll answer that question. Are they haunted in just a moment, Sonia, as I return to you with a painting that you cannot see in this frame, but I will bring it to you.
Oh, wow.
Are they haunted?
Oh, wow.
They're haunted.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I think this is a childhood portrait of Smee, actually.
Wow.
Or of Anakin.
Or of Anakin.
Yeah.
Young Anakin.
Oh, wait. I do want to bring in. We do have a second unit from George right here.
Aren't you making some tea?
Oh wow, look at that. Look at the blue. I love the blue.
Oh wow.
That makes it look like it's happening in it looks like it's happening in the Star Wars universe.
Regular Oga's Cantina, George. That's what that looks like. Wow. That's very fun.
Wow.
Yeah. Wild. Jason, you love the animated shows. You go real deep on this.
Yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with Clone Wars and especially Rebels. I think Rebels is like some of the best Star Wars storytelling, bar none. You know, like that to me is the most perfectly realized version of what A New Hope kind of sets up, you know? It is adventures. It's an analogous team. It's those adventures week to week, and it's you know, a young Jedi and an old Jedi. Oh, that I want to play Kanan Jarrus. Can somebody draw me as Kanan Jarrus, please?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm pretty deep on those. Although I will say this, I just recently have listened to the audiobooks of all of the Thrawn stories.
Yeah.
I just listened to Heir to the Empire. I'm giving shouts to Timothy Zahn
Those are
crushing it.
Those books are so good.
Crush it. I just listened to all of the Heir to the Empire ones, and then which have now been, decanonized. So the new ones, the trilogy that came after it, I just listened to those as well. Fucking fantastic! Yes. Look at it's both of us.
Amazing. Oh my God. That looks so natural.
There was some more too. Where's the other one? Here's one with George.
Yeah.
This one.
Young Lotto signing off. It's morbid. It's morbid.
Drink Grogu. That might be it. What's this? Oh wow, here you go. This is your business card.
Oh my God, I love that.
Awesome.
I will give those out.
Like, how you prepare to be a Jedi therapist? Like, what's your, are there some, like exercises you have to do, like with your Jedi patient, like Jedi client? How do you prepare differently? I feel like there's a lot there.
Well, I think there's, the reality is, I think a lot of therapists deal with like their patients' dreams and what that means. And I think like Force being inside Force state would be a real part of, analyzing patients' visions, analyzing patients' relationships with Force ghosts is going to be a real part of it, all that.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought about this before, but all of the Jedi could use some therapy, like all of them. Like
none of the events of these movies would have happened if talk therapy was part of think about this genuinely.
Yeah.
Part of the Jedi Order is to deny your emotions. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is just a recipe for that's a pressure cooker to create a Darth Vader, right?
Yeah.
Jason, can I tell you a story?
And the only therapeutic process they have is the fucking Force cave thing, where you go in and experience like spiritual trauma, and
nobody talks you through it.
No one, yeah.
Talk you through it afterwards. Yoda's there to be like, Yoda's basically like, did you figure it out? Fuck you, man. How about fuck you? How about How about talk to the younglings?
Yeah.
How about talk to them? How about let them talk about let them express their emotions? And it's, by the way, Chiss ascendancy, it's the same thing with your navigators. You got to let them be. They're children. They're children, Chiss ascendancy. You got to engage them. They're scared. They're slipping into a fugue state with the Force. They're navigating ships through hyperspace lanes that are very difficult around huge gravity wells. So why not let them be kids, Chiss ascendancy?
I mean, it makes sense, George. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, they didn't have Freud. They didn't have psychoanalysis. None of it.
No. I mean, Ki-Adi-Mundi never got the 1 week trial on Talkspace, and that could have made all of the difference.
That's all he needed. He had so much going on up there in that brain. He had so much.
Too much head.
Even Luke, instead of deciding, I'm gonna have to kill Kylo Ren or young Ben Solo, and instead of being like, I'm gonna kill, why not? Hey Luke, hey guy, why not talk to the kid? This is a world, George. You created a world in which adults don't know how to talk to children.
I mean, in the early 1980s, we hired a stained glass artist to build a skylight, basically, over the library at Skywalker Ranch. My marriage was not in great shape at the time.
What had happened?
I wasn't apparently adventurous enough in bed. We drifted apart.
Right.
We'd started to drift apart. We wanted different things. And one of the things that my first wife, Marcia, wanted was to have sex with the man who designed the stained glass window that we had installed at Skywalker Ranch. So I was cuckolded by the man who designed the Skywalker Ranch stained glass skylight, which is there to this day.
Wow.
I'm a billionaire. I kept the skylight. I did not replace it. I kept the skylight. It's very nice.
Wow.
Wow.
So when you sit under it, when you sit under it and the light streams through, is it a constant reminder of your having been cuckolded by this beautiful artwork's creator?
You know what, Jason? I don't want to talk about it.
Can I ask a question? Is Jocasta New the librarian there? What's going on there? These are deep cuts, everybody.
I know.
George,
I didn't want to step on George's toes here.
Well, I just want to make sure George, of course, remembers Jocasta Nu, the Jedi librarian from Attack of the Clones. Yeah. George, you remember her.
Of course, I created her.
I just wanted to make sure you remembered where.
What am I? Is that my job on the show? Every time someone mentions a Star Wars character, I'll be like, oh yeah, C-3PO. By the way, I made that character.
Yeah.
Jesus, you know how old that would get? Do you know how old that would get, Patrick? That's producing 101.
Yeah, Patrick. Patrick, bump yourself.
Bump yourself, Patrick.
Now, Jason, I have a fun little thing I want to do that you might not think is fun because you've protected yourself. But I did a little search on Twitter to see what are people saying. What are people saying about Jason Mantzoukas?
Right now, you mean?
And I found someone, and you know what they're saying? You know what this person's saying about you?
Oh no, fuck.
And I'm going to read this verbatim. This is a person who said, I like Mark Duplass. I like Mark Duplass. I Nick Krull.
Okay.
The sentence there was I Nick Krull, Krull.
Okay, so I'm assuming that means they stole a DVD copy of the movie Krull.
There it is. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a three-part tweet. This is a three-sentence tweet.
The bladed weapon, the glaive. Go ahead.
I like Mark Duplass. I Nick Krull. I love Jason Mantzoukas. I guess I'll watch the league.
Oh.
When is this tweet from?
This is from the 13th of December.
13th. There you go.
Wow.
And then she also said, Kevin looks like David Boreanaz if you squint.
Wow.
It's not so bad. Getting a little love.
What do you think? Rate my Skype rooms? And she said, okay, now I'm getting ED and hair growth ads. All right.
By the way, see that what you just showed me? That's why I don't need to be on social media. What even was all that?
A lot. It was a lot.
A lot. But at the center of it, of it, Jason,
I'm glad for the compliment. I'm thrilled for the compliment.
You were it sounds like you were the deal. You sealed the deal. They weren't going to watch the league, but then when they found out that someone they love is on the league,
and spoiler alert for that person. Spoiler alert: I'm only recurring. I'm not even a series regular. Only recurring.
But that just means they get to look forward to you. You go away, and then they miss you, and then you come back.
Oh, now, I love being missed.
I have a question. Should we send that clip to that person when this goes online?
Sure. Do you want to say anything nice back?
I would like. Oh yeah, absolutely. I would love to thank that person for loving me, and I'm curious now that they're going to start the league what they think when they watch it. I would like to hear their review of the show.
And they should give back that DVD of Krull that they stole.
And yes, you should give back the Krull DVD that you nicked.
Yeah.
If they send us,
remember.
I was gonna say if they send us.
What were you going to say, Pat?
That's right. Boot yourself, Patrick.
Pat. No, we really want to hear what you have to say, Patrick. We really want to.
It's not worth it. No, it's not worth it.
See, that's how you bump him. You make him bump himself.
Oh, yeah.
But Patrick, seriously, I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
I'm going to say if they send us...
I'm sorry. I was making a joke, Patrick.
That's what you sound like, Patrick. That's what you fucking sound like. You just got classic Watto'd.
You got Watto'd so fucking hard, my man.
Oh man, Patrick, you fucking idiot.
If this person on social media, because we're not trying to suck you. We think it's a good idea. We don't want to suck you down the hole of social media.
Yeah.
But if this person starts doing as you wish and reviewing the league, responding, and they like it, and it's nice things, do you want us to have Patrick write letters to you?
No. Nope.
Physical letters.
I don't want Patrick.
Mail that
I don't want Patrick
convey.
to have. By the way, I'm already annoyed that Patrick had my email in order to tell me to show up to this live stream right there.
Yeah.
I need a barrier between Patrick and I regardless.
This is what happens when you do multiple shows with me. This is how it works.
I don't want.
I'm going to drink some tea in your honor, Jason.
Oh
yeah. I was gonna heat my tea.
I'm steeping right now.
Oh yeah, get steeped, bro.
How long you steeped? How long are you a long steeper? Will you wait, or do you want to get that hot water and are you an eager tea boy, or do you like to steep?
No, because I let it steep because it's too hot to drink straight out of the gate. So I don't mind letting it steep, cool down a minute or so. Then then tea bag out and glug glug glug. I'm off to Tea Town.
Jason, you're great
Sonia.
in the new season of Big Mouth. I just wanted to say that before I forgot.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I appreciate it. What a fun season. Great stuff. I love one of those shows that I'm both genuinely delighted people love it and it's so fun to do, and I'm also a fan of it as just a watcher. It's funny, man.
I mean, every season I am newly shocked by what they do, by what you guys do. Every time I'm like, I'm cool, I'm hip, I'm gonna like watch the teenage like scatological humor, I'm gonna be fine. And then every time, like 6 episodes in, I'm like, I can't believe they're doing this. I can't believe it. And it's
really sweet and very heartfelt stuff that they get a lot of really good character stuff in there, along with all the dirty, funny sex jokes.
A turd.
Do you improvise? Do you improvise on that, Jason?
We do, yeah. Because what they try and do, because most of us have been friends for a long time, a lot of people come out of the UCB scene, general kind of comedy scene together. So in normal circumstances, we all record in a room together or in, combinations together so that we can improvise and find stuff, which we almost always do.
Jason, I have a question for you.
Yeah,
and
go ahead,
I think
George.
it's a question that I think all three of us would love to ask you.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yes, George.
Were you ever on Herald Night?
Was I ever on Herald Night at UCB? Yes, I was. I was on a team called Mother.
Mother, the soundtrack.
We did this, but that wasn't Herald Night. That was the form that we did on Saturday nights.
That's when
we became a weekend team. Herald Night, we were a Herald team starting, I think, in maybe 1999. We started as a Herald team.
We got Christine Walters. Let's name them. We got John Daly. We got Toy Maestro Jesse Falcon.
Yes.
We got
Armstrong.
We got Doug Moe.
Doug Moe, yes. He's a later addition, yes.
St. Clair. Jason. Is that it? Daly?
Nope.
I said Daly. Who else we got?
Yes.
Who else?
You're missing two. I can think. I think two. Yeah.
Oh, James Eason.
Oh,
wow. Yeah.
One more. Unless you said one and I missed it. You might have said the person and I missed it. Tara Copeland is the last person.
Tara Copeland.
Yes. That was Mother. We were a Herald team.
How were you formed?
We were the first Herald team that Armando Diaz created. So previous to our generation, the Herald teams came out of the classes that the UCB were teaching. And then when Armando Diaz came to New York and kind of became the de facto head of the school, kind of overseer of Herald Night, we were the first team that he put together. I think with the UCB's input, but we were the first team that he put together and he was our coach. So it was I think we were this might be wrong. We were one of the first teams that was created around the time when UCB got its first theater, 22nd between 6th and 7th. That theater, the theater that was shut down, 2 years later, not even.
Skipping forward to the present day.
Yes.
When are you offer only?
No. Am I offer only? No.
You'll read?
I certainly get offered things, but I'll audition. Yeah, I'll audition.
You put on tape. You self tape.
I put myself on tape. Absolutely, I put myself on tape.
You tape for that head of the class reboot?
Head of the class? When it's head of the class, I will I'm in, baby. I'll be like, fuck yeah. If there's a reboot of Herman's Head, I want in.
Yeah. Yeah, inevitably there will be, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I still audition, absolutely. But I'm not gonna lie to you, George. Sometimes I get offered jobs. But I'm not offer only,
All right.
Sonia. We've done our due diligence now.
Sonia, are there when you write a piece and you're dealing with an editor, do you have pet peeves in terms of notes that you'll get back that you think, oh, I don't like? How are you on passive voice?
I am. I'm okay. I'm pretty good at editing myself out of passive voice, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely have pet peeves.
Let's dish.
Let's dish.
Let's dish.
I'm trying to think if there's a lot of it is that, and I'm sure you guys sympathize when you're at your like most vulnerable and also most arrogant place as a writer when you're getting notes on something you've written. So right. I'll be like, it's all about how they approach me. It's all about like whether or not they've soothed my ego enough before like giving me whatever note it is.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of it.
Yeah. Are they gonna come at you like a Gary Kurtz, or are they gonna approach you like a Rick McCullum?
Right. Yeah. Great question.
Yeah.
That
I don't need some Gary coming at me saying, make it like this. I need a Rick who's saying like, you made it just right.
But
I like what you did.
What if we did this? And I'm like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm yeah. I don't know. How does that work when you guys get notes for your
Patrick, what are you doing?
That wasn't me.
Patrick, come on, man. Get it together. This is like a professional live stream, and you're up here trying to FaceTime with people?
No. Someone tried to call me, and now I'm going to angrily text them and say, you know what I'm doing?
Here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say. I, along with everybody else, am riveted by what Sonia's talking about. She's about to ask us a question, and you're like, who can I FaceTime right now?
The arrogance of Patrick Hotner, who invite one of America's top television critics onto your TV show and then take a phone call. It's like you're daring her to give us a rotten tomato.
Watto, how do you give your slaves notes on what they do?
Great question. Great question.
I don't. Look, I'll say I'm a pretty like loosey-goosey, hands-off slave owner.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, look, it's all house money. You know, you do what you want.
That is the exact wording of your dating profile on the Slaver dating app.
Yes, SLAVR.
Yeah, loosey goosey.
Yes. Sonia, here's a question I have for you.
Oh God!
Inspired by the question George asked. It's not about slavery. Sonia, George was asking you about your pet peeves in terms of writing, criticism, journalism. But as a TV critic, what are like your biggest pet peeves? If you're watching, you're opening up a streamer link of a new TV show, right?
Yeah.
What are the things that could happen in the first 10 minutes of the first episode of a new TV show that are going to put that series in a real uphill battle for your respect?
Oh no, I don't know how to answer.
That's a great question. I like that. Do you have any things that you're like, when you watch maybe like the trailer where you're like, uh-oh, wait a minute, what are they doing? They're bringing back Hayden Christensen? Uh-oh, wait a
minute. Like a deal breaker type of thing?
Yeah, like what are big TV show deal breakers for you?
You guys watch the show Industry that just came out on HBO like a few weeks ago?
I just watched the trailer for it because I was like, is this good? Should I be watching this?
No, it's not. I mean, that was my opinion, was that it was not. But and I know some people really like it, so I don't even mean like that. But I feel like that show was a kind of good example of like this is just anything that sort of seems to make like a corporate finance job into something super sexy and attainable is like, I mean, super sexy and aspirational, I mean, is like not gonna be my thing at all. And then like, you know, they're like, and they do drugs and like have sex, and it's like this great like experience. And I was just like, I don't believe anything that's happening right now. Okay. So I wouldn't necessarily say that I have deal breakers, because I gave that show like 4 episodes. I was like, maybe it's going somewhere. But there's some like, maybe this is like too political, but there are just some arguments I'm just not going to accept, and like that was one of them. I was like, you're not going to tell me these like 21-year-old like finance interns are like the coolest people in the world. I'm just not going to buy it. Like I don't care about them. So yeah,
unless it's like younger and one of them is like 40 pretending to be in their 20s.
Right, very different kind of thing going on there.
At which point I'm like all in.
Yeah, what's
an interesting counterpoint question someone asked in the chat, Mkin Chloe, what's an underrated TV show that people should offer more attention to?
But for me,
not enough credit to this.
Well, can I piggyback off of Sonia's Vanity Fair list of the best shows of 2020 and say your number one was also my number one of the year, which is How To with John Wilson, which is
also my number one.
Incredible.
It's
absolutely incredible.
It's a great show. And yeah, I totally think that it could get more what's the word, buzz, because it's sort of like a niche thing that happened. I'm trying to think about what else. I mean, like The Mandalorian was on my list. That one has a lot of buzz.
No one's talking about it.
But you know something, and this is one for Watto. There's this show by Jendi Tartakovsky called Primal.
Loved that show.
So cool. And it's like, it was only 5 episodes this season and like 5 episodes the season before. It's like super slim, and like there's no dialogue because like the characters are a caveman and a dinosaur, so they like don't speak language. But it's like so good and so cool. So like more people should watch that too. Yeah.
I agree. I've watched all of that show twice.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It's terrific.
I like sobbed through an episode this last season because it was just like so heartrending. Like they get into like deep stuff, man. Yeah. Anyway.
I'm going to say also, and it's not from this year, but I got into it this year during this quarantine because it was put up on streaming services, which was Over the Garden Wall.
That's
great show. Great show.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That show is fucking awesome.
Yeah. And it goes in such a weird place. Yeah. I love that.
I want like 1,000 more episodes of that.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotta get Disney on this. Disney Plus. Come on. If they make it a Star Wars spinoff, maybe you can convince them.
Well, here's the
thing. I would like to see a season. I would like to see a season of Chef's Table in the Star Wars universe.
Well, here's a rock fact about Disney Plus, which is that you might think that if you gave Disney Plus a charming animated series, that what do you think they'd do? You think they'd release it? You think? What if you gave them 39?
I would assume so.
What if you gave them 39 fully completed episodes of a Star Wars animated TV show, executive produced by me, George Lucas?
Wow.
What do you think they would do? You think, we got a streaming service, there's a pandemic on. You think they'd release it?
Throw it straight up. I'd say throw it straight up.
Let's say you've got voice actors like Billy D. Williams reprising their role as Lando, Ahmed Best coming back as Jar Jar, and George is right there.
You're losing me.
EP on the show. Well, I'm about to break your hearts. I'm about to break your hearts because a little over a decade ago, I was talking to my pals who make the robot chickens, and because they like to spoof Star Wars, and I said, "You guys, let's make this marriage legal. Let's staff up and do some Star Wars spoofing, and we'll do it right. And Uncle George will be the one helping you.
Please,
I'm gonna write a check.
Don't call yourself Uncle George. Don't.
But when I'm spoofing, it's Uncle George. When I'm spoofing it, Uncle George is the one who's making the spoofs.
I feel like if we just searched feel like if we just searched police records, there's definitely open cases for an Uncle George.
Well, close them, because if the charge is spoofing, then Your Honor, I plead guilty of spoofing. So here's the thing. I didn't
spoofing IP addresses so that you can hide your dastardly acts, Uncle George.
No, spoofing IP on a pile of boo-boo, because that's the kind of comedy I like.
I mean, George, look, everyone calls you this, including verified Twitter user Dave Cobb.
Dave Cobb!
Who is normal, apparently.
Uncle George.
1% normal.
Yeah. That movie Cobb should have been about Dave Cobb, not that racist baseball player. Our buddy Bobby Wool was in Cobb. And so anyway, Uncle George writes a check. We don't bother selling the show to the networks or to the streaming services. First of all, the streaming services weren't really a thing back then.
No.
But we just assume if I'm making a Star Wars show and I'm paying for it, it'll sell. It'll sell, right? People want this. We make the episodes. Meanwhile, there's a shift in the tax code coming up. I'm getting older. I need to sell Star Wars off. One thing leads to another, and I sell all of Star Wars to Disney, including a little show called Star Wars Detours. 39 episodes plus 40 additional scripts that we had yet to start production on, but that are ready to go and full of jokes. Mm-hmm. Now, Disney decides, there was a Comic-Con panel with a trailer announcing Star Wars Detours. So this was announced. This is out in the world. Weird Al Yankovic's on, so you know it's funny. We got all kinds of funny people in this show. Then
look at them, they're dancing.
Look at them. They're dancing. And it's
fun.
Funny, silly time for fun.
Greedo?
Yeah,
it's Greedo, it's IG-88.
It's Greedo and Han in a dance together. I mean, they're mortal enemies.
Yeah.
Well, that's why this is so spoofy.
Wow.
Well, you think that's crazy? Look at this one.
Jason, you know in comedy anything goes.
They're eating pancakes at Dexter's Diner.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Jason, please. I'll tell you what you're not going to like is the fact that, okay, so Disney has an idea for how they want to start up Star Wars again. And it's very serious because it's like, this should be about patricide and all kinds of very serious things. Like we want a son to kill his father. We want this, we want that. So clearly you don't want to lead with your spoofs. You know what I mean? You don't want to, they didn't want to start with the funny jokes and the fun times. And I understand that. So they took all 39 episodes of Star Wars Detours and they put them on a shelf.
Wow.
Where they remain to this day.
Like the books in the Jedi Temple.
Exactly like those books.
I bet they don't even dust that shelf.
I guarantee you. And it's digital dust too, because it's all CG animation.
Wow.
And they just released a Lego Star Wars holiday special. It's full of spoofs and goofs. So it's not that they don't like jokes. I'm starting to suspect that they don't like George.
No. Uncle George. It sounds like they specifically they don't like Uncle George.
They don't like Uncle George. Because they come out there and they go, oh, we're working so hard. There are going to be 10 new Star Wars shows. It could be 11 like this.
Do you have any idea what an insult it is for Disney to hold a press conference in which they announce they are making 10 new Star Wars shows when they have a show that I have given them?
Wow. 39 episodes.
39 episodes.
George, can I ask you a question? Do you think
that is more than 4 seasons of Mandalorian? That's how many episodes they've got.
At the point when they had it ready to go,
yeah.
Did you look at, like, for the people who were in power, the people who could technically look at that and look at all of that content and bump it? Was Patrick employed at that time by Disney?
Patrick?
I'm just saying, was Patrick in a position to bump all of Uncle George's animated content with the robot chicken guys?
Jason, I believe, and I'm not 100% sure on this, which season of the Chris Gethard show was on Fusion when Fusion was owned by Univision and Univision had yet to be divested from ABC's holdings as part of the Disney Corporation?
A lot of Gethard show information for George Lucas to know. Go ahead.
I don't want this show to turn into trash or cash, but let me ask you.
Listen,
Patrick,
we're talking bread.
are we talking trash? We talking cash? We talking bread?
I don't think
Patrick.
so. George, what year was that? Was it 2013, I want to say?
When was the Comic-Con reveal? The Star Wars sale was in 2013?
2013, which means, guys, I hate to let you down, still in college.
You were still in college?
2013?
Did you graduate college?
That's a great question.
There's no way this dum-dum graduated college. There's no college on earth that would give a degree to this dum-dum.
Sonia, you are a member of the press, right?
Yeah.
Okay? You have a journalistic responsibility. Jason is starting to crack open this story
wide open.
We thought that the mouse was the one who was keeping detours on the shelf, but maybe the rat is the one who was bumping it. You got to get this story out to the people, Sonia. He tries to silence you.
Investigate Patrick.
I'm going to talk to Sonia for a second, okay?
I can't believe it's been in front of me the whole time.
Hey, Sonia.
Hi.
Don't write about this.
Patrick, you haven't even graduated from college.
Sonia, don't write about this, okay?
Patrick, don't boot me because of this. Don't do that.
Sonia, I need you to go. I need you to go, okay, Sonia?
All right, bye.
Thanks for coming.
Wow.
What?
Brutal. That's what unchecked power looks like in the universe.
It's called being boosted.
Wow.
Wait, hang on 1 second.
Holy shit.
Sonia, do you have anything to plug?
No.
A double boot!
Whoa! Savage.
2 boots.
Savage.
2 boots.
Oh, boot. I'm eating pizza in the East Village all of this sudden.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Boots over here.
Hold on. Patrick.
Yeah.
The Chris Gethard show on Fusion.
Yeah.
May 28th through August 13th, 2015.
Yeah. And the panel was in 2013, George.
Yes, the panel was saying we're going to release detours. The panel was saying
question?
all is clear. We're going to release detours. We sell Star Wars to Disney.
Mm-hmm.
They get ready. They release Force Awakens in 15, and they've told me, oh, it's not the right time for detours. I say, fine, I understand. You want to do a patricide movie. This is not the time for spoofing. We're gonna kill Daddy.
How about a Patrick-aside movie?
Yeah, the real patricide.
I mean, we're talking to a guy who just booted a woman and her unborn child from this show.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
Let's see when ABC divests itself from Univision.
I think it was after the show got canceled off of Fusion.
It would be convenient.
We're going to chase this down.
You do what you got to do.
This is the content people want.
2016. April 2016. Walt Disney.
Wow.
Company's ABC sells its Fusion stake to Univision, exits joint venture.
Wow.
When did Pat the Rat have the ear of the mouse to whisper from within?
Buzz. Cancel. What was it?
Never released.
Detour?
Never released detours.
Huh.
Never.
The rat and the mouse in bed together. The rat and the mouse.
This is not how I thought my pandemic would go.
The rat and the mouse. Yeah, you thought your pandemic would end with you making Bezos money.
Jason, how many streaming services do you have content on? Because you're on so many shows and so many films.
Sure.
Do you check how many streams you think you're on?
I don't check at all. In fact, I couldn't even begin to tell you.
All right, so you're on Peacock. We know you're on Peacock because the 9-9 is on Peacock.
Okay, sure. Okay,
all right.
good.
Yeah. Good Mouth is on Netflix, right?
Big Mouth is on Netflix.
Big Mouth,
sure.
and that's a Netflix exclusive. And did you know this? Did you know that The Good Place in some countries is presented as if it's a Netflix original series?
Oh, I did not know that. No.
The next time when traveling is allowed again, the next time you go to England, do you like going to England, Jason?
Well, I will say I was shooting a movie this time last year in England.
Hello.
London, England, and Brooklyn Nine-Nine is huge in England. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, what I was unquestionably recognized for the most in the UK was
Adrian Pimento.
Jason is on Pluto. I just watched. Oh, okay, nice. I was so thrilled by that. So yeah, and I don't know what it's
Adrian Pimento. It's Adrian Pimento.
They'd be like, oh, or then Adrian Pimento.
Is that Adrian Pimento I see before me?
Oi, 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 oi.
Oi, oi, oi. Do I spy with my little eye?
Oh, are you from the 9-9?
From the 9-9?
You from the 9-9?
Ralph breaks the internet.
I'm looking here. I don't think you're on Crackle.
Does Crackle still exist?
You bet it does.
Yes.
Remember when Crackle was
blow your mind, Jason?
They survived Comedians in Cars and Coffee leaving?
Jason, do you know who owns Crackle?
This is going to blow your mind. Jason,
do I own Crackle? Is it me?
I'm going to make it full screen.
Sony created Crackle and then sold it. Who do you think they sold it to?
George Lucas? Why are you putting me in a single for this? Don't put me in a single for this.
I want to see your face.
You know who owns Crackle?
Oh, okay.
Two more guesses. Two more guesses.
Two more guesses?
This is a new segment on the show. Do you know who owns Crackle?
Do I know who owns Crackle? Okay. So now I'm assuming it is not. I'm assuming it is not Crackle the elf from Snap, Crackle, and Pop. I'm taking that off the board. Okay. So it's not George Lucas, it's not Crackle the elf. So my last and only option is Watto?
Cut to me.
Single on Watto. Go.
Chicken soup for the soul.
Wait, the Chicken Soup for the Soul people own Crackle?
Yes.
Huh. Is it content that is now just related to Chicken Soup for the Soul? Or similar, like self-helpy kind of stuff?
No.
Every time, Jason, put it just with me and Jason for a second.
Yeah,
just a 2-shot. Please take us to a 2-shot for George and Jason.
Yes. Every time you purchase a Chicken Soup for the Soul book,
which I just did because
is funding Crackle.
It's the holiday season, and every year I give those books as gifts.
That money is funneled directly to the Crackle dealers who are showing streaming content on the Crackle app 24/7, 365.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Hey, good for them. Right?
Great for them.
They got that chicken soup. And Watto, you really had that soup ready to go.
CS for TS. That's what they say. On the street.
Watto's just Watto, I like that you got that pastrami sandwich and that chicken soup.
Now, Watto, I have a behind-the-scenes question for you. Can I ask you one?
Yeah.
Did you make Jason full screen for so long so you could run off and get that chicken soup?
No! Rewind the tape. I was drinking the soup 40 minutes ago.
Can anyone in the chat confirm they saw soup 40 minutes ago?
I was sneaking the soup 40 minutes ago. It was right here, right under frame.
We got any spotters of the soup sneaking?
Everyone say soup sneak. And I had a potato pancake, and none of you noticed.
Yeah. Here's the
Oh, nice. That's the How Did This Get Made crew as Shmee.
Yes.
Shmee and Watto and Young Watto.
Right.
Young Watto.
They're finally answering the question. How did this get made? Shmee fuck Shmee. That's how it got made. It is Anakin.
I mean,
that's a
it's just. I mean, it's certainly a Stitcher Premium show.
Definitely.
Now, who do you see for the crocodile?
Jessica St. Clair, probably.
Oh, that's a great choice. Great.
Well,
choice.
but Jason, you are the TikTok man already.
Oh, that's true. It's tough. It's really tough. I mean, you could if you took Watto out of that series.
Yeah.
And I could play the crocodile. I mean, I could voice the crocodile as the TikTok man. Speaking, I will now just plug. This is a iPad stylus.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Oh,
speaking of the TikTok,
what?
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, guys, we're having a great time.
Cat gift?
What's that? Yes, it was the gift they gave.
What's the best
gift
you've ever gotten?
Probably this. It's so cool.
Pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, everything else is usually like a T-shirt or a baseball hat. So this was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you pitched storylines for John Wick 4 yet? Have you gone into pitch what you want to see the TikTok
very aggressively, yes. Yeah. I'm spending a lot of my quarantine time, training to be in John Wick 4 because as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be like for the TikTok man, like a real violence, primarily just fight scenes. So I'm doing a lot of fight training in my house. I set up my whole house to be an obstacle course and I'm just like training constantly.
You have to like build up more muscle mass because they might give you some extra rags to wear next time, right? I heard they're
it's especially when those rags get wet. When you're clothed in nothing but soaking wet rags because every scene in John Wick is in the rain, it's heavy. You're wearing a heavy load. So I had to like really bulk up.
Hey George, I have a question.
Yeah.
For me.
This is not something that we normally do, but I want to ask. Is there any way that we can wrap up this section of the show and move into the next section of the show?
You're trying to end the show? You're trying to boot the whole show?
I'm not trying to boot the whole show. But sometimes
this is like a full show boot?
No. It's not a full show boot. I want to move into the next portion of the show.
This is a classic Patrick boondoggle.
It's not. I promise it's not.
Another boondoggle from the Boot and Scootin' Baby.
But Patrick, what portion of the show could exist if this show is over? What comes after the show?
Well, I need George to say something before we can.
Patrick, I think you're asking me rhetorically. I think this is a matter of this is pure pomp and circumstance. You know that the way that we end the regular show is I give you a clean edit point by saying, "Oh, and Patrick."
Yeah, George.
Thanks.